Welcome back to another episode of Around the Court. I'm your host and athletic director, Jeff Feller, and today we have the honor and privilege of being with our head boys lacrosse coach, Matt Carr. Matt, thanks for being with me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
All right, so Matt, tell us a little about your experience with lacrosse.
Well, I've been around the game for my entire life. I've been playing for over 45 years. It's described as not an actual sport, but an incurable disease. So once you get bit by the bug of lacrosse, you're stuck with it.
So talk about a little about how the process was in founding the program here, because you started it. So tell us a little bit about that.
So turns out this was not the first program we worked on as far as a fledgling program. We started the program at Straight Jesuit about 15 years earlier. And the big part of that was we knew that we needed buy-in from the athletic department and the school. And we got that in spades here at Pius, which was fantastic. The next biggest thing is things have changed a lot in Texas lacrosse. When we founded the program at Jesuit, we had about 30 programs in the state, and now we're over 100. So it is a lot different. Skill level has definitely increased quite a bit, and that's been a challenge for us as a very small school. I mean, the biggest challenge for us is we're a small school, and that's. But you know, the kids that we have when they're coming in as we're growing the program, you know, we're really working on skills coming in, and that's been a big part of our success. You know, we've done well with that.
Awesome. And getting some of our newer athletes to participate in lacrosse, some that haven't, are multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely draw on multi-sport athletes here, and we're always looking for them. We have a lot of crossover with soccer, just at Pius.
That's great. That's great. And a shout out to the THSLL, Texas High School Lacrosse League, for governing the league and doing a great job. You have the unique opportunity to coach and have coached your sons, one who has graduated and has moved on, and the other who is currently still with the program and enrolled at the school. What has this meant to you and your family?
Wow. Coaching them has definitely been a challenge and a lot of fun. They're definitely two different types of players. Both of them are attackmen. Anthony actually graduated with the most assists in the history of St. Pius. He was a different kind of player, a much quieter kind of guy. Michael's a little bit more of a little more competitive in a lot of ways. You know, I try to compartmentalize it as much as possible. I know that sometimes their ride home from practice with me was probably not very fun, but you know, it definitely is a privilege, and it's a lot of fun to coach your kid. But it's not easy, and you got to try to separate them and treat them as much as like any other player. I think what it has done though is really made me a little bit more cognizant of treating every player a little better.
Well, that's good. I mean, we definitely want to treat our players good at St. Pius. So
what it is like
we're glad you treat our players good. That's awesome.
You know, when you're with a kid and he, you know, they frustrate you, and you know, you yell at them, and you know, you don't yell at them because you're mad at the kid. You're mad at what they did, right? So you're always trying to help improve them, give them immediate feedback. But you know, it definitely helps having seen my own kids and then getting the feedback from them too, because they're not shy about telling me what I did wrong. So you know, it's a fantastic way to kind of really, you know, broaden the way that you coach. And I think that as a coach, you have to constantly try to be better at everything you do every time you do it. So we're always, you know, as coaches, we're pathologically optimistic. We think that we can always be better, right? Everything's always going to get better. So we just, you know, having coached your own kids, it gives you a perspective that definitely I don't think I had going into it.
Yeah, and I think just like we ask our players to kind of reflect and grow and get better, we do the same as coaches.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So to end this conversation on a great note, this past year was a historic season for boys lacrosse at St. Pius X High School. It was the first time in school history that we went to the state Final Four.
Yep.
So talk about how you feel that this year's success will impact the growth of the program and future success.
Well, definitely this year was a kind of a crazy year. We had some ups and downs. We went through a couple different streaks of win streaks and losses. So the biggest thing that I think that we got from this year was advancing that far without having a perfect record is really important for the kids that are in the program now that will be continuing with the program, as well as with those that are going to be coming into the program. So they're going to see a success that we expect.
Right.
One thing that we're trying to always do, and that we've done in the past in different places that we've coached, we've always made the playoffs. We've been good enough to get to the playoffs. We've been good enough to at least win a playoff game. But those sort of things build on each other. And now we get to the point where we're expecting to play in that regional championship game. And if we're not there, then I want the boys to feel that's not the success level that we expect or we're going to hold ourselves to. So, we want to be committed to excellence, everything that we do. And I think the class that we have coming in this year is our largest class, I believe, so far. We'll find out once we hit the season. But, we're expecting 10, 12 new boys for the freshman class, which will be a really big class. And I think seeing that plaque that says Final Four is going to be something for them that they know they have to try to aspire to get to.
Yeah, just so you know, my expectations are a state championship.
Yes, absolutely.
Just so as you understand that, and everyone, state championship next year for St. Pius X boys lacrosse.
Yes.
Coach, I wanted to thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
It was great learning more about our boys lacrosse program. And that'll conclude this episode of Around Your Court. Go Panthers.